Welcome to the Miniatures Paintbrush. Today we're going to talk about zenithal highlighting from an object source.
Alrighty, here is the painting list that I have here. And quickly, it's just going to go through all the paints that I used for this project. We have grays, we have brown tones here. I was trying to go for that manger look, if possible, earthy tones, if possible as well. I used Minotaur. I'm not brand loyal when it comes to paint. I kind of use the colors that I do like. Vallejo puts out a great model color line. Use the blues, skin tones, some whites, Army Painter. Actually, I got these as a steal, basically. This fair, and somebody didn't know what they were, and I think I bought the entire set for $1. They were a little dried out. And then, of course, Citadel shades are really important as well for washes, and that's what I use it for. And here are some of the finished pieces, so when you're done with it, with the Zenithal highlighting that we're going to apply to this, with the ghost tints as well that I use, and you can use any. This is the result, and I think it came out fantastic, and it's unique because it's black with some zenithal highlighting in there. Really brings the color out, makes it pop. So let's get started on how I did the process. The first thing that I did was I took some poster tack and I mounted it onto some pill bottles, which I filled with some stones. I like the thick pill bottles. It helps me hold a miniature down better. And then I primed it black. I did use some spray can paint for that, and then some Stynylrez res for the white highlighting to create that zenithal highlighting. They call it zenithal because the zenith means the highest point. The light source should be coming from the highest point. Now this was just a little different. I call it zenithal highlighting because we're using the same techniques of zenithal highlighting, but the object source is the baby in the middle. And the light is emanating from that center point and onto everyone else, bringing out color. And I did a stark contrast where I left the backs of the other miniatures black, and it faded into the color, being that everything else is darkness, and the only light there can ever be is that baby in the center. And that's what I was going for. My brother, I'm doing this project for, requested that I do this, but knowing his tastes, he's pretty radical in his tastes, so I wanted to do something special and unique. So the baby gets highlighted, and I start highlighting the other miniatures as well. I'm going from the bottom up, trying to tilt the way up, so this way the light's coming from the actual bottom of the miniature, spraying up. Now normally what I would do is, when I zenithal highlight, I'll come from the top down, and
That was it. They're all zenithal highlighted. And next step is to add some ghost tints.
Alrighty. So here's a painted green, and here are all the pieces painted actually. And it was so easy to do, just to apply that coat of ghost tints to tint out all that white and to make it into individual colors, and you want to spray the entire miniature there. And then I hand paint. I'm using a wet palette there. Go see my wet palette video to see how I actually did that. And then all I'm doing is adding skin tone. I realize this is different from other miniatures where the plastic really adheres even with the priming. It's really hard to lay down thin layers of paint on these. So I kept on going with very thick layers. Of course, everything is diluted, and that wet palette is amazing, which keeps the paint there and wet. And I can't say enough about that wet palette. Now I paint the skin, various coats. I think it took like 4 or 5 coats, maybe 5 to 6 coats actually, and then the hair as well. I paint that also took several coats, as you can see here. And then while one is drying, I would switch over and try to do the light from the lantern that he's holding, because it's yellow, and yellow takes multiple coats to do as well. And then you can add highlights like doing their eyes. I did their eyebrows. I washed between their fingers. I just put a wash in between their fingers just to call it done. So you see how easy it is to zenithal highlight and then add the colors that you want. And you can do this technique for any one of your miniatures. This is a nativity scene for my brother again, and I really had a blast doing it. Alright, well, let's go to the still shots of the finished product here. Oh yeah, they came out really, really nice.
There it is. It's easy, not hard at all. Well, if you like this tutorial, then give me a thumbs up. If you want to share it, that definitely helps my channel. And comment, subscribe, anything I can do to help you guys out, I will definitely do, answer all questions. Well, thank you, and I'll see you again on the Miniatures Paintbrush.